Heidi-ho from Mesa Verde National Park. We are here for 2 days and 2 nights. We got here really early today, so we've got all day to do the driving, exploring, and even take in some hiking if the weather plays along for us. A little rainy here today. And then tomorrow we've got 2 separate tours booked into 2 different cliff dwellings, So anyway, let's get all that going right now.
There are several ways to experience Mesa Verde National Park, with scenic drives, guided cliff dwelling tours, short walks, and long hikes. We chose a combination of them all and started with the scenic drive and short walks due to the rainy weather. But first, we checked out the visitor center as it had just opened. We, of course, stopped to chat with the park ranger for any suggested activities or hikes. Then we perused the store and displays. Mesa Verde Park Road offers a scenic and winding drive through one of the most historically significant and visually stunning areas in the United States. Starting from the park's entrance, this 20-mile-long road climbs steadily, gaining over 1,000 feet in elevation, topping out at around 8,000 feet. We stopped at the several scenic overlooks and took the short walks out to views such as those at Park Point and the geologic overlooks.
Well, the drive up here was absolutely beautiful with all the vista overlooks and everything from the mesa. But the weather really is still looming on us, so what we decided to do is come over on in here to the Petroglyph, Petroglyph Point Loop Trail. One of the top rated ones, not only in all trails, but also when we spoke to the ranger down at the visitor center. They highly recommended it as well, so we're going to go take that on now, hopefully before the storms catch us.
The Petroglyph Point Trail starts near the Mesa Verde Museum and offers excellent views of Spruce and Navajo canyons. The trail provides views of Spruce Tree House, which is unfortunately closed for the foreseeable future due to rockfall. Beyond it, there are several cliff dwellings across the canyon as well. There's even one right along the trail that you could easily miss if you don't look up at the right time. The trail follows a foot-worn path of the Ancestral Pueblo people into the forested Spruce Canyon landscape and along a sometimes steep, rocky path back to the canyon's rim. At one time, this path connected the community at Spruce Tree House with other outlying sites within the canyon and the rest of the Pueblo world. Petroglyph Point Trail is only one example, while Mesa Verde National Park is also a UNESCO World Heritage Cultural Site. With over 52,000 acres, this park preserves and protects nearly 5,000 archaeological sites, including 600 cliff dwellings and over 3 million associated objects in the park's research collection. There are nearly 30 miles of park trails ranging from a half mile to 8+ miles. The park's elevation ranges from 7,000 to 8,400 feet. The highlight of the hike is the petroglyph panel that they believe was created between the 12th and 13th centuries. It depicts a variety of symbols representing the written language of the people who inhabited and traveled through this canyon. More than 30 human and animal figures, spirals, and handprints cover an area of over 35 feet wide.
Well, we have stopped here at a little roadside pull-off, so hopefully you won't hear too many cars go by. We were hungry, and we're having second breakfast for our lunch/dinner, and wanted to get you kind of caught up live action on the hike and some of our thoughts. So the hike was absolutely, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, we really thoroughly enjoyed that hike.
Definitely rated appropriately.
Well, is it though?
No, for the 4.8 stars.
Okay, 4.8 stars, yes.
Star
so the rating
rating.
I'm talking about is, maybe it's semantics. I get a little hung up on vocabulary. But they call it strenuous. And it's not physically exerting as much as there are places where there are some challenge.
It's a lot of steps.
It's steps, and there's some challenge, some rock scrambling. I would call it challenging, not strenuous, but they don't use that word.
No.
The National Park Service doesn't use that word when they rate it. Anyway, I get it. I'll let it go, I promise.
Whatever.
After that, we stopped through, looked at some of the exhibits in the museum.
Yes.
That was lovely. And then we've done a little bit of driving, just looking at some of
On the Mesa Top.
Yeah, the Mesa Top area, where we'll be back tomorrow to do some of the guided tours. I think on to the afternoon, we've got to drive to an area that the ranger this morning suggested, where we get to look at 7,000 years of progression in 6 miles. So once we get some food in us, we're going to be at that.
Mesa Top Loop Road is a 6-mile driving tour of excavated Mesa Top villages and overlooks of cliff dwellings. They have an audio tour that you can access through the park's app that provides information about each of the 12 ancestral stops along the loop. Highlights include Square Tower House Overlook and views of Cliff Palace from Sun Point View and Sun Temple.
Winter is a season for storytelling in the Puebloans, when the world is quiet.
We also checked out the Far View Sites area that has an easy 3/4-mile walk through a pinyon juniper forest containing the remains of several villages, farming terraces, reservoirs, and kivas, all part of a once thriving agricultural community. These sites showcase the Puebloans' impressive skills in agriculture, architecture, and community planning. Mesa Verde National Park only has one campground. Moorfield Campground has 267 sites ranging from tent to full hookup RV sites scattered among 7 loops. Reservations are done at the concessionaire's site, and you only choose the type of site you are reserving, not the specific site. To us, this is the worst part of boondocking and reservations put together. When we checked in, we were told to pick our site from within 4 specific loops, which was a task in itself, as the majority of the sites were not level or well maintained. Further, several were quite short for even our truck. They have showers, a laundromat, a camp store, and a cafe that are located near the entrance, which is too far for most to walk. There are also a mix of flush toilet restrooms with potable water faucets and pit latrines scattered throughout the campground.
Well, today was a pretty amazing day. Thankfully, the weather that we thought we would have, the storms, they have been pushed off to this evening while we're asleep. We ended up having sun most of the day. It was really quite nice. That being said, we are getting quite tired, so we've made our way to camp. We found us a decently private spot here so we can get us a shower, get us a whiskey, and get to bed. Last night, the storms did catch up, but it kind of made for some nice sleep.
Yes.
It rained all night long and cleared out literally moments before Alana got out to hit the restroom and for us to tear down and make our way here to the balcony house, which is our first tour. I think I'm going to travel light, just the action camera. Let's go check this thing out.
When I was reviewing the cliff tours to do on our visit, I noticed one that stated one of the most adventurous in the park and not for the faint of heart. I thought this is the one. Balcony House is considered a moderately strenuous 1-hour tour due to climbing a 32-foot ladder, crawling through an 18-inch wide by 27-inch tall tunnel extending 12 feet long, and then climb up a 65-foot open cliff face with 31 feet of steep, uneven stone steps and 2 18-foot ladders to exit. All this, and you only cover about a quarter mile of walking. We had time in our schedule for a second tour, and that would be Cliff Palace. It is the largest and most famous cliff dwelling in Mesa Verde. It is also considered moderately strenuous, but less physically demanding than Balcony House. There are several short ladders and uneven stone steps along this 1-hour tour that covers another quarter mile of walking. Both the Balcony House and Cliff Palace tours offer incredible opportunities to explore the rich history of Mesa Verde's cliff dwellings, each with its own unique challenges and rewards. They are available from mid-May through October and require reservations.
Well, there you go. The 2 tours that Alana booked for us, Balcony House and Cliff Palace.
Mm-hmm.
We were speaking moments ago, and if we had to recommend just one to you, it would be the Balcony House.
Yes.
Cliff Palace was fine. It was absolutely a larger group of
Yes.
Structures and buildings and everything there. It just felt a little more commercialized. They had 50 people on the tour. Everything about it just didn't quite have the vibe, even though our tour guide was great. He even did that little bit of fluting, playing stuff there at the end. Yeah, as far as a visit for the park, we feel like our 2 days here was about right. It gave us some opportunities to hike. It let us take our time at all of the vista views, do the drive around, and then also take in those 2 of the tours themselves. So I feel like that's right. If you wanted to spend more time, I think there's a lot more hiking to do. We would recommend the Petroglyph Trail that we did just because we did enjoy it so much. But I'm sure the other hikes are just as great.
Yeah.
We're wrapping up here. We're back at camp. We have showered. We've eaten dinner. We've even done some laundry to kind of regroup for our next bit. The next bit, we are on to Black Canyon of the Gunnison National Park. That'll get Alana tied up for 50 of 50. I've already been at this park, but it was fantastic to revisit it and do just a few things a little bit different. Hopefully you enjoyed the visit, or the visit that we had in the video here, and you will join us at Black Canyon of the Gunnison. Soon we will see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.